Welcome to District Command Central, your go-to source for the latest news and updates on the Washington Commanders. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a play. The Washington Commanders are heading into the new NFL season with a major boost in their offensive arsenal, as wide receiver Terry McLaurin is on track to be ready for Week 1 despite missing training camp and the entire preseason due to a contract dispute. McLaurin, who recently agreed to a massive $96 million deal, is reportedly putting in extra work to ensure he is prepared for the opener against the New York Giants. Head coach Quinn expressed complete confidence, stating that McLaurin absolutely has enough time to be fully integrated into the team's Week 1 game plan. While the holdout situation caused concern among fans and analysts, the coach's public support sends a strong signal that McLaurin's presence on the field is expected to make an immediate impact. The Commanders are relying heavily on his veteran experience and skill set, hoping that the delay in preseason activity won't hinder his early season performance. General Manager Adam Peters also commented on McLaurin's status, highlighting that both he and fellow wide receiver Noah Brown are still considered day-to-day players. Peters was cautious not to commit to McLaurin playing in the first game, but his acknowledgement of the situation showed optimism, coupled with a smile and a public apology to Quinn for allowing the contract dispute to extend into training camp. Peters emphasized that the organization's respect and admiration for McLaurin never wavered, signaling that the holdout was a business matter rather than a personal rift. By maintaining this positive relationship, the Commanders hope to foster a seamless transition back onto the field for their star receiver. McLaurin's return is crucial, as his presence in the offense can create matchup problems for defenses, opening opportunities for other receivers and tight ends, and strengthening the overall passing game for Washington's season opener. McLaurin finally took the field for practice on Wednesday, marking his first workout in August, after spending 2 weeks on the physically unable to perform list due to an ankle injury. The timing of his return is key, as it gives the coaching staff a chance to evaluate his readiness and adjust the offensive game plan accordingly. Despite missing critical preseason reps, McLaurin's experience as a 5-time 1,000-yard receiver provides confidence that he can quickly regain his rhythm and chemistry with quarterback Carson Wentz. Coach Quinn praised McLaurin's competitive nature, calling him a rare competitor, a statement that underscores how the veteran receiver's mindset and work ethic could compensate for lost practice time. Observers anticipate that McLaurin's athleticism, route-running precision, and clutch performance will be invaluable in the early stages of the season, particularly against a Giants defense known for its physicality. The contract situation surrounding McLaurin created tension during the offseason, as he opted out of practice and preseason games while negotiating a new deal with agents Buddy Baker and Anthony Bonagura. Originally, McLaurin was set to earn $22.8 million in the final season of his previous 3-year extension, which he signed in 2022. By holding out, he risked fines of $50,000 per day and $200,000 in total, and had already incurred more than $100,000 in penalties for missing a mandatory June minicamp. These figures highlight the high stakes involved in contract negotiations for elite NFL talent. Despite the financial and professional risk, McLaurin's strategy ultimately paid off, securing a lucrative extension that reflects his elite status in the league. His decision also underscores the modern dynamics of player leverage, where star athletes can influence team strategy and negotiate terms that reflect both performance and market value. The new $96 million deal comes with a $32 million average annual value, tying McLaurin with Philadelphia Eagles wideout A.J. Brown for 6th among NFL receivers. This places him among the league's elite, although Cincinnati Bengals star Ja'Marr Chase currently leads the pack with an average annual salary of $40.25 million. McLaurin's new contract not only rewards his past production, but also reinforces his importance to the Commanders' offensive identity moving forward. The financial commitment indicates that the team views McLaurin as a cornerstone player capable of generating game-changing plays and influencing opposing defensive schemes. Analysts have noted that securing McLaurin under such a deal provides stability in Washington's receiving core and sends a strong message to both teammates and competitors about the organization's ambitions for the upcoming season. From a strategic perspective, McLaurin's return has implications beyond his own stats, as defenses will now have to account for his presence in coverage schemes. Opposing teams often design their defensive game plans around star players, and McLaurin's ability to stretch the field vertically and exploit mismatches is critical. His chemistry with Carson Wentz, which has been refined over several seasons, is expected to accelerate the offense's rhythm early in the year. Coach Quinn's endorsement highlights not only McLaurin's talent, but also his leadership on and off the field, signaling that he will play a key role in mentoring younger receivers and contributing to team cohesion. The Commanders' offensive strategy appears designed to maximize McLaurin's abilities, making him a focal point of both short and deep passing attacks. The psychological dimension of McLaurin's holdout cannot be overlooked, as it required balancing personal financial considerations with team dynamics and fan expectations. Public perception can influence locker room chemistry, but the organization's unwavering support suggests that internal relationships remain strong despite external scrutiny. McLaurin's commitment to catching up physically and mentally demonstrates professionalism and dedication, traits that are critical in the high-pressure environment of an NFL season opener. For fans, his return is a morale boost, signaling that Washington is fully committed to competing at a high level from the first snap. Analysts are paying close attention to how quickly he integrates back into live drills and whether any rust will affect timing with Wentz. Training camp and preseason are typically crucial for building conditioning, timing, and chemistry, making McLaurin's absence significant. However, his veteran experience and proven ability to perform under pressure offer optimism that he can overcome the lost practice time. Coach Quinn's confidence that McLaurin will be ready speaks volumes, indicating that the staff has a detailed plan to accelerate his integration. The early season schedule will test his physical and mental readiness, especially as the Commanders face a Giants team with a disciplined secondary. McLaurin's ability to execute precise routes and create separation will be critical in converting third downs and generating explosive plays that can shift game momentum. Beyond physical readiness, McLaurin's return also enhances the Commanders' overall offensive versatility. His presence opens opportunities for other players, creating mismatches that can be exploited in both passing and running situations. Defenses forced to respect McLaurin's speed and route running must allocate coverage resources, allowing the team's tight ends and slot receivers to operate more freely. This cascading effect can improve the team's efficiency and scoring potential from the outset. The coaching staff appears aware of this leverage and is likely to craft game plans that maximize McLaurin's impact, turning his return into a strategic advantage that could shape early season outcomes and boost overall team confidence. The financial implications of McLaurin's new deal extend beyond his personal earnings, influencing the Commanders' salary cap and roster planning. Allocating $32 million per year to a single wide receiver requires careful management of other positions and investments, which the front office has clearly factored into long-term strategy. By locking in a top-tier talent like McLaurin, Washington sends a strong message to potential free agents and draft prospects about the organization's commitment to competitiveness. Analysts will monitor how this contract affects roster flexibility, but in the immediate term, McLaurin's presence is expected to provide a tangible boost in offensive production and team morale. His financial and athletic impact underscores the complex intersection of business decisions and on-field performance in the modern NFL. McLaurin's holdout saga and eventual return encapsulate the evolving nature of player-team dynamics in professional football. While missing training camp and preseason posed significant challenges, his new contract and focused preparation demonstrate resilience and professionalism. Coach Quinn and the Commanders' staff are optimistic that McLaurin's leadership, skill set, and competitive drive will translate into immediate contributions on the field. As the season opener against the Giants approaches, all eyes will be on McLaurin to see if he can quickly regain timing, impact games, and justify the organization's massive investment. His performance will not only influence early standings, but also set the tone for Washington's aspirations, signaling that the team is prepared to contend at a high level while navigating the complexities of modern NFL contracts and player expectations. The return of Terry McLaurin represents more than just a star wide receiver coming back to the field. It signifies a renewed offensive identity for the Commanders as they prepare for the regular season. His leadership and competitive spirit are expected to energize the locker room and inspire confidence across the roster. The coaching staff's detailed preparation and emphasis on integrating him quickly show a commitment to leveraging his talents from the very first snap. Analysts, fans, and opponents alike will be watching closely, evaluating how quickly he recaptures his peak performance and influences game outcomes. With a $96 million contract reflecting his elite status, McLaren carries both expectation and responsibility, but his proven track record suggests that the Commanders' investment could pay dividends immediately. As Week 1 approaches, the anticipation around his return continues to grow, promising a season where Washington's passing game could become a formidable weapon for success and excitement on the field. If you're enjoying the coverage, make sure to smash that like button and drop a comment with your thoughts on the Commanders' latest moves. We want to hear from you. Whispers are circling around the Commanders' locker room, and if you've been paying attention, you probably already felt the tremor. It seems Dan Quinn, the head coach, finally reached a breaking point, and sources suggest that his patience has snapped in a way fans have rarely witnessed before. The story goes that after yet another heated practice session, Quinn allegedly called out a player in front of the team, and it wasn't just a mild reprimand. According to insiders, it escalated into a full-blown declaration that the player doesn't play for me anymore. The rumor has sent shockwaves through the franchise, because while Quinn is known for his fiery coaching style, this marks a level of intensity and confrontation that insiders describe as unprecedented in recent team history, raising eyebrows across the league and among fans, analysts, and former players alike who can't stop talking about it. The player in question, whose identity remains tightly guarded by those close to the locker room, is said to have had repeated clashes with Quinn over effort, attitude, or perhaps even leadership within the team. Word is that this isn't an isolated incident, but part of a growing tension that has been simmering for weeks, with small confrontations gradually building into a boiling point that finally erupted in a moment no one in the facility will likely forget. Sources say that teammates were stunned, caught somewhere between disbelief and the awkward necessity of watching the drama unfold. The locker room, insiders whisper, has become a theater for tension, with some players allegedly siding quietly with the coach, while others are reportedly sympathetic to the player, creating a precarious balance that could influence team dynamics and performance in ways fans might only begin to understand as the season progresses. Social media has, unsurprisingly, exploded with speculation and memes as reporters, bloggers, and fans alike scramble to decipher what exactly went down in that notorious meeting. People are piecing together fragments of stories, claiming that Quinn's temper is legendary, but that this incident crosses lines even by his standards. Analysts are speculating whether this is a strategic power move to establish dominance or an emotional outburst with potential long-term consequences. The rumor mill suggests that the player's days on the team could be numbered, with whispers of trade possibilities or suspension talks already floating around. Every insider tip or social media post is now dissected for hidden meaning, fueling a narrative that Quinn is drawing a hard line in the sand, perhaps even reshaping the hierarchy and culture of the Commanders in ways no one could have anticipated before this dramatic moment. Reports also suggest that team leadership is scrambling to manage the fallout, with whispers of secret meetings and closed-door conversations aimed at calming tensions before they reach a public breaking point. Executives are reportedly weighing options, considering not only the immediate impact on morale, but also the ripple effect this confrontation could have on sponsorships, media coverage, and fan engagement. Some insiders say that Quinn's decisiveness, though shocking, could serve as a wake-up call for the entire roster, forcing players to either align with his vision or face serious consequences. Meanwhile, players who witnessed the outburst are said to be processing the incident in a mix of awe, fear, and curiosity, unsure of what the future holds but acutely aware that locker room dynamics are changing in real time, and perhaps permanently, depending on how this situation unfolds behind closed doors. Rumors indicate that the player in question has not remained silent, either. Sources claim that texts, private messages, and cryptic social media posts from the athlete hint at a brewing response, though nothing has been confirmed publicly. The narrative, insiders say, is only growing more complex, as the back-and-forth tension between Quinn and the players supposedly extends beyond the field, encompassing philosophy, leadership, and personal pride. Fans are eager for confirmation, but are instead left with tantalizing fragments that suggest a battle of wills that could define the remainder of the season. The speculation extends to how the coaching staff and assistants are reacting, with whispers that some may secretly agree with the player, while others staunchly support Quinn's decision, creating a complicated internal landscape that fuels both anxiety and fascination in equal measure across the NFL community. Even among former players and analysts, reactions are mixed, with some defending Quinn's decision as a necessary step to maintain discipline and authority, while others caution that losing a key contributor in the midst of the season could backfire in unpredictable ways. The rumor mill paints Quinn as a coach who refuses to compromise on standards, yet it also suggests that this approach could risk alienating talented athletes who might otherwise contribute meaningfully to the team's success. Conversations on podcasts, live streams, and sports forums are buzzing with theories, many of which hinge on the question: is Quinn reshaping the Commanders for the better, or is he letting emotion dictate decisions that could haunt the team for months to come? The intrigue is palpable, with each new tidbit sparking fresh debates that refuse to settle. Adding fuel to the fire, some whispers indicate that Quinn's declaration may have been more dramatic than a simple benching. It could involve a complete exclusion from team activities, with insiders suggesting the player might not even suit up for upcoming games unless reconciliation occurs. Speculation is rampant over whether this is a temporary emotional outburst or a calculated move intended to send a message across the league about discipline and accountability. Fans are poring over training camp footage, interviews, and past performance stats, trying to find clues that justify or challenge Quinn's reported statement. Analysts are dissecting every angle, from psychological impact to potential legal or contractual implications, as the rumor grows into a story that extends far beyond the locker room, resonating with anyone who follows the NFL closely enough to understand how fragile team cohesion can be when passion meets authority in a high-stakes environment. Meanwhile, the atmosphere in Washington is reportedly tense, with whispers that ticket sales, fan engagement, and local media coverage are all being influenced by the unfolding drama. Some insiders suggest that Quinn's reputation as a disciplinarian is now on full display, sending ripples that may affect how other teams view the Commanders' internal culture. Conversations among coaches in other franchises allegedly include references to this incident as a cautionary tale, a headline-grabbing example of what happens when personal conflict intersects with professional expectations at the highest level. The speculation doesn't stop at just internal dynamics either. Rumor has it that league officials and referees are quietly monitoring the situation, anticipating whether this internal rift might spill over onto the field in ways that could disrupt not only games, but broader league narratives as well. Amid all the chaos, insiders hint at a growing sense of suspense that's palpable even among casual fans. Every media appearance, every press conference, every sideline clip is being scrutinized for signs of reconciliation or escalation. Rumors suggest that Quinn's next public statements could be decisive, either clarifying his stance or doubling down on the dramatic ultimatum, with analysts predicting that whichever path he chooses will set the tone for the remainder of the season. Social media is alive with speculation, memes, and theories, each iteration adding layers to a story that insiders describe as part scandal, part leadership test, and part high-stakes drama that captures the essence of NFL locker room politics. Fans, experts, and casual observers alike are riveted, waiting to see whether this conflict ends in resolution or ignites a full-blown saga. Some whispers even suggest that rival teams are quietly watching, waiting for the fallout, perhaps seeing an opportunity to exploit a fractured roster. Analysts speculate that a player estranged from a coach could lose focus, potentially affecting performance, while others suggest it might inspire a redemptive arc if handled correctly. The rumor mill implies that Quinn's gamble is not only about maintaining authority, but also about shaping the team's identity under pressure, testing loyalty, and sending a clear message to everyone involved. Standards are non-negotiable. Sources claim that conversations about trades, strategy adjustments, and locker room leadership reshuffling are already underway, painting a picture of a franchise at a crossroads, caught between conflict and opportunity, with the eyes of the NFL world firmly fixed on Washington as this story continues to evolve in unpredictable ways. Finally, insiders whisper that this story is far from over, with the drama likely to dominate headlines, broadcasts, and fan discussions for weeks to come. Speculation suggests that whether reconciliation occurs or not, Quinn has made his mark, forcing players, staff, and the media to grapple with the consequences of a coach who refuses to back down in the face of conflict. Every rumor, every social media post, every insider tip adds to the narrative, keeping fans on the edge of their seats, wondering if the Commanders will emerge stronger or stumble under the weight of internal strife. For now, the story remains a simmering, tantalizing mystery, fueled by whispered accounts, locker room gossip, and the ever-present drama that makes following the NFL not just about games, but about the personalities, passions, and clashes that unfold behind the scenes where no camera can fully capture the tension. Thanks for tuning into District Command Central. Make sure to subscribe and follow us for all the Commanders news you need. Until next time, keep the faith and hail to the Commanders.